Hi, another beat breakdown today. What I want to cover by the end of the video is what happens if you've got a beat, an instrumental, and then you have an artist writing on top of it. How to mix those two, how to put them together, how to glue them, how the collab basically works. And you saw this instrumental before, and this is my first place W on the Kennybeats battle. So basically Dresden, this amazing artist, writer, singer, contacted me on the Discord, and he just sent me a demo. Like, he took the beat and he just murdered the track. And I said, yeah, let's do the full track. So we collabed, and this is what came out of it. So let me just first cut to the final product. This is the final mix, and then we'll jump to the breakdown.
By myself, and I'm still trying to find my way to you. But I know I ain't got no time left. Throw money at me. I'm throwing money for my own sake, to distract myself from you. Hey, so, hey, let me be down. On my own, can't lie, benefiting you, girl, I've benefited you, girl, I've benefited you. Spend time with you, what I wanted. Spend time on my own, all this time. If I wanna start you, what are you gonna do? If I wanna start you, what are you gonna do? Think twice before I got what I wanted. Think twice because I'll lose to you. If I wanna start you, what are you gonna do?
Dude, you murdered this. So this is the demo that you sent me, right?
Like, I was just like kind of chilling on the stream, Kennybeats stream, listening to like the Beats battles as like I usually do. I heard that beat, right? And I was just like, yo, that shit's so fucking nice. Like, usually what I do is like I'll hum a melody and then record on my phone, and then from there I'll like write lyrics to kind of fit like the cadence, and everything came so quickly, and I probably finished all that stuff in like an hour.
Did you just download the track and you slap your vocals and...
True. Yeah, so I kept it super simple. So like, obviously like you didn't have the beat available like for download, so then I just like ripped it from SoundCloud, and then yeah, I just recorded my vocals over it, and then I used like my typical vocal chains, and I just like ran it through that, and that's pretty much it.
Maybe there's some artists that are just afraid to get their mixes out and like get a sense. But I think if I receive a mix from an artist or a demo from an instrumentalist, I'm not listening to the mix because I know what mix I'm gonna put on it. I'm really listening to the music and the vibe, and that's pretty much, I think. Was it super different when writing the rest once you got the longer arrangement?
Lyrically, I just tried to keep the same theme. I haven't gotten gibberish usually on my phone, and then I'll fill it in with lyrics. For this one specifically, I added bridge because I felt like that kind of needed it. So,
speaking of the lyrics, you kind of feel like you felt like you kind of went through some shit recently.
So I think, at least for this song, like I think for sure there's gonna be some like Pain Chat vibes. Like you can tell from the lyrics. Watching a couple of those Kenny streams, you know, you can definitely relate. But yeah, honestly, I went through some shit, but like it wasn't really recent. But even though like I feel like negative feelings stick with people like way longer than like positive ones, for better or for worse. Even if you're over something, you can always like go back to that place and like write about it. And I feel like it's pretty cathartic for artists and producers to like experience different things outside of music. I think it could be important. It's definitely useful to like pull from like different aspects of life. If I find like a show or like a movie that I fucking really relate to, or like I try to live vicariously through that shit, and then like I'll write it from a perspective of a character or something like that, and like just switch it up. Genre wise, I just listen to a lot of hip hop and R&B.
What is this song? What is ended up as? I don't even.
Yeah, I was trying to go for some R&B vibe at first, but then I think honestly it came out more pop than anything, because like the melodies and stuff. So like it's kind of upbeat, even though it was like a Pain Chat vibe with the lyrics, but...
And I mean, basically, we did the whole thing through Discord, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's all Discord. It was really tight, man. Like, it was actually cool.
And where are you based?
I'm based in Toronto. Pretty good. Oh, shit, yo. Dave's like, come on, bro. You only had that.
Yeah, we basically did this collab across 6 time zones. I'm mixing while you're sleeping and vice versa. Do you have any tips for artists doing this kind of stuff?
But yeah, I always try to like follow that mantra of like dots, like don't overthink shit. Like if I get a writer's block or some shit, I always go back to that. Like why don't I just keep it simple and like do what comes to my mind first? Like I feel like whatever comes to your mind first is always like the cleanest.
Do you wanna plug your socials?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Dresden.s. Yeah, just follow me on Instagram, man. Fuck it. Spotify, you'll see my links all there too. So, just IG, that's all good.
So, Dress sent me 4 tracks of vocals. Not like a choir, obviously, but here are the 4 tracks. The first thing that I did, if you remember the original beat breakdown, the idea for the groove was to have space before the snare. So, let me give you an example. I'm gonna solo the melody, the drums, I chopped the melody in a way that's giving sort of breath before the snare, and that was the whole idea for the groove. And when I got the vocals, this groove would kind of get buried if there was a held note for a moment. So let me just play you the same section without the ad libs that are chopped.
Even though you're on my mind, I don't wanna waste time for you, but don't anyway, I can't lie.
So you see how there's this main vocal on track on 1A, and then the ad libs 1B, 1C, but the groove is kind of gets buried. The idea was to serve the instrumental by leaving the main vocal, but giving space before the snare on the ad libs. And here's how that sounds.
Even though you're on my mind, I don't wanna waste time for you, but don't anyway, I can't lie. The next time,
And in the context of the whole tune,
even though you're on my mind, I don't wanna waste time for you, but don't anyway, I can't lie. The next time, I'ma see you again.
but remember, there's always one main vocal. There's still an unchopped main vocal line. The idea is not to chop that, it's to accentuate the groove. Alright, so let me give you a rundown on the effects and on the mixing. I want to do 2 parts. The first one is the aesthetic on kind of the coloring effects, and the other one is just more dynamic EQ. The first aesthetic effect that I used was this isotope doubler, which I think is is basically a chorus. It sounds like it anyway. Here's the automation. You see how when the chorus hits, and the chorus is this pink red, it goes to 100, and then progressively goes back down, and then again 100 at the part 2 of the chorus, and then goes back down. So here's the trick. What I did from verse to chorus A to 100, then progressively subliminally down to 0, and then back again at 100 for the second part of the chorus, and then subliminally back to 0. But what you are hearing is as if I did this from 0 to 100, and because this decrease is so subliminal, your ear feels like I went from 100 to 200 in the space of the second chorus. So it reinfuses energy. It feels like I'd added something new, but I didn't. And that's the trick of it. So to recap, if you add 100 on some dry wet knobs or some effects, and you need to be at 200, try releasing it to 0 over the course of a few bars, and putting it back to 100. So for the other aesthetic effects, Saturn, you can see a few bands here that I've automated in the same way. It just reinfuses energy throughout the key moments. Looking at Saturn, I use 2 bands. The first one just catches the harmony, really the root note and the first few harmonics. And the second band, I needed to do some different stuff on the second band because this one had the sibilants. Another plugin I used for aesthetics was CLA2A, which obviously should be used as a compressor, but they added something like there's some saturation in here, some drive that I've never been able to reproduce with Saturn or anything else. I've got the Isotope de-esser here, and this is also very aesthetic. There's this spectral tilt here. So listen to the difference. The sibilants on brown is more like sh, and on the white it's more like s. So let me just, okay, so spend time, you see you hear the S. This on brown and this on white. Okay, more like spend time, and this is spend time. It kind of enables me to shape the sibilants. For reverb, I've got Valhalla, Room, Valhalla. It's really to taste. So there's two ways. Like either you stop at 0 and you increase it until it sounds good, or you start at max and you decrease it. So let's just find a sweet spot. I'll put it at 50. Your instrumental has a certain amount of reverb and diffusion intrinsic to it, and if you plop a vocal on top of it that has a completely different level of reverb, they're not gonna match. So that's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to find a level where the reverb for the vox matches and kind of blends in with the overall reverb of the instrumental. And then I want to show you all the effects that are there to give space between instruments. We're on the Vox bus, and I have two things here. At the end is the kick is sidechained into a compressor, and the snare are sidechained into a compressor here as well. The Vox bus is ducking when the kick hits and the snare hits. Then I'm using some Pro Q3 with sidechaining function. And I like Pro Q for this because it's just quick. There's no attack or release. It's just boom. And I'm just ducking the sides because I'm not touching the mid of the vocal because I wanted to keep the body of the vocal. Similar idea with the bass. What I'm doing here is I'm sidechaining the bass into the Vox bus. It's just a low shelf, and it's just slightly hitting the root. And now if I go to the melody, I also have a similar idea with the bass sidechained into the melody track. Just to give more space to the bass. With a track solo, this sounds like an alternate version. A lo-fi stuff. Speaking of the alternative version, we were recording this interview section and chilling and playing with the track, and this little idea came up. Check this out.
Yeah, it's a completely different vibe.
I put in a buzz in, kalimba, and the drums. But like without those drums, it's completely lo-fi.
Yeah.
It's like acoustic version, dude.
Unplugged, bro.
Unplugged version.
Unplugged.
Dude, let me find some lo-fi drums. Maybe this one.
That's crazy. That sounds crazy.
Missing a bit of hats.
Because I'll lose to you. If I wanna start new, what are you gon' do? If I wanna start new, what are you gon' do? Spend time with you.
But like if you cut it up,
Getting it crazy, you know?
What are you gon' do? It's time.
this could be it. This could be like an acoustic version.
For real.
Link in the description.
Release that shit.
Oh yeah. Lo-fi version. Although I don't think the bass line matches it. It's too staccato, too fast. I'm glad you made it to this point of the video. Usually I record videos and I put them on YouTube. It's just me chilling on the couch playing something. So just follow me again. I'll try to record a bass line lo-fi take. Thank you for watching. Peace.
By myself.